Whilst the world looks on in trepidation, and some people stoked, some people not so much, renewable energy continues breaking new records. Renewable energy will not stop for anyone. I don't care what any prime minister or president says, or what any person says individually. The truth is, guys, renewable energy is on a collision course. It's taking out fossil fuels, and nothing is going to change that. Have a look at these records we've just seen here in Australia. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. I love seeing this stuff, and I kind of like the feeling that I'm a part of this because I have a 26 kilowatt hour solar system that was installed by Resync Solar. I'll put a link in the description to their company. They are the best reviewed solar company in Australia. My experience with them has been just ridiculously good. I've become friends with the CEO and got a lot of respect for him, and he's gone through his own cancer journey as well. He actually cured himself of cancer. Remarkable what he did. Anyhow, I highly recommend you use them if you're going to get solar. If you don't already have solar, I don't care where you are, America, Europe, Australia, you need to get solar. It's a no-brainer for you financially, and it's a no-brainer not just for you financially, but also be part of Team Solution, right? Let's all be part of Team Solution. The share of renewables in Australia's main grid hit new highs on Wednesday last week, pushing coal and overall fossil fuel shares to new lows, says reneweconomy.com.au, despite the highest levels of native demand seen this spring. In other words, we got really big demand and renewable energy still broke records as a percentage of energy used on the grid. In other words, it really, really broke records. Renewables usually set new production and market share records in spring though because of good conditions and mild temperatures. But on Wednesday, there was actually not the greatest conditions, but at the same time, market penetration of renewables hit a new high of 76%. That's well above the first spring record of 73% set in early September. Now that's for all of Australia, 76%. Smashed the previous record of 73%. It won't really, honestly, it's not going to be as long as what people think before renewables are before they hit 100% all across Australia. I really think if you look at the future, don't just look at today, don't just look at what happened yesterday, look at what's actually happening. All these batteries being approved, all the actual solar that's being connected. I mean, stop wasting all this solar. We start using it all. We build all these batteries, and these numbers are going to be just blown away. Every single month, I think we're going to see records over the next few years. Now, yeah, some months it won't be, but mostly every single month, I think we're going to see broken records. The share of wind and solar alone, variable renewables, hit a new peak of 74.6%, a leap from 71.7%, its previous record. That's a pretty big jump. The share of renewables is not just a factor of how much wind and solar can be produced, because these numbers are a little bit misleading, right? The truth is that actually sometimes we produce enough renewables for all of Australia completely, more than 100%. But the truth is that it's been curtailed because we can't turn off some of our coal and gas power plants. We have to keep them running until they're completely gone. So that's one of the setbacks we have, that these plants can only be essentially turned down to produce around 20% of their normal maximum. So that means that these percentages are a little, like I said, they're misleading because actually we have enough wind, solar and batteries on some days to produce around about 100%. The Australian Energy Market Operator has already flagged several occasions when the potential share of renewables in the country's main grid was more than 100% of demand, but has not yet got all its, it's not able to actually use all that energy. So like I said, like California, as soon as we start connecting all these big batteries, it's going to change rapidly. A little bit like South Australia or Adelaide as well. According to GPE Nemlog, the combined output of renewables hit a new peak of 23,645 megawatts at 1:05 p.m. So that was up significantly from the previous record of 22,000. It's a pretty big difference. The output of wind and solar hit a new peak of 23,241 megawatts, up sharply from the previous record of 21,000. That's a big, big difference. The output would have been much higher, but 2,500 megawatts of large-scale wind and solar was curtailed at the time. So if you add 2,500, right, to that 23,200 number, you're looking at an enormous jump. That's just massive. We're looking at an increase of 21,000 previous record to potentially, right, up to 25,700. Meaning That's enough renewables to run pretty much the entire Australian grid. But, of course, the batteries, we're waiting for them. When they're connected, things will change really, really fast. Most of the output has been coming from rooftop solar. Rooftop solar is, well, set a new record. If you look at the percentages, it's very, very high. 19,515 megawatt of that number, of that 23,000, was rooftop solar. So the majority of this energy is created by you guys, by people getting solar on their houses. So don't read into this fear and this gloom stuff about solar. It's actually, you're doing an amazing job. Everyone's getting together. There's more than 4 million households in Australia that have solar. Amazing numbers for a country with only 25 million people. And what do we got? Like 15 million households. So that's an amazing percentage. And all this means one big thing. The share of coal hit a new low of 22.9%. 22.9%, right? Apparently, if you charge your EV, you're only using coal, right? Well, 22.9%. Maybe you can quote that number to people who say that. Or you can continue to say to them, well, I just use my own solar to charge my EV, so I don't use electricity from the grid anyway. So imagine when all these big batteries are turned on and we're not wasting all these renewables, that 22.9%, well, before long, that'll be 0%. Now, I know there's a lot of fear and gloom being painted by the media and all these people saying without nuclear, we're all doomed. We don't actually need it. You know what? Within 10 years, we'll be 100% renewables here in Australia. That's my prediction. It's going to happen easily based on the trajectory we're in right now. And with vehicle to grid coming soon, and all these new batteries being, all these households in here in New South Wales are installing batteries because there's an incentive from the government, massive numbers of people installing battery packs. All those are going to be helping to support the grid. So will vehicle to grid in EVs over the next few years. It's coming. Trust me, it'll come. It'll get there. Thanks for watching.